Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight. We have a solid matchup Frostfire Lowell against the Striking Vipers. They're both really evenly matched, so we're going to see some great action tonight. Punk, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
I'm feeling pretty good. Both teams looking very even. Both teams 1-3 right now. Also having a game score of 3-6 on both teams. Funny enough, both teams one win were against the Peak Performance org. Striking Vipers
Yeah.
winning against Peak Performance Y, and Team Frostfire winning against Peak Performance X. So I'm excited to see these two teams square off, and hopefully we'll have a very good and competitive game today.
Yeah, the bulk of Frostfire's team are all from Grandview University. So they have plenty of history together. And recently, in all of their exploits, they have been pretty consistent. They've gotten a couple third places. So I think they have a relatively similar track record to the Striking Vipers. And yeah, as you said, it's going to be a very close matchup tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think tonight we're gonna have a good game. Both teams did come off a loss last week. Striking Vipers dropping a game to Cloud9 Academy. In the first game, it looked very rough, but the Vipers, after that second game, they were showing quite a bit of life. Really, putting in a lot of good plays and making a lot of good moves until the very end of the game. They had a unfortunate fight and just slowly Cloud9 amateur rather did choke them out 0-2 to 0-2. So hopefully we'll see Striking Viper showing some more life today after that performance last week.
Yeah, yesterday's game two was incredible. They came out on all cylinders, and seeing those pocket picks in game two was a sight to behold. ZMT on the Aurelia, Diesel on the Aatrox, and then having Morn on the Elise. So hopefully we can see more of that tonight. And just taking a glance across the op.gg's, it looks like up in the top side, once again, we're going to see a whole lot of skirmishing. Platypus does love to play kind of those bruisers and duelists. So that's going to be a lane to watch this evening. And then in the middle lane, it looks like the Frostfire Lowell mid laner has a fair number of games on Gragas. So I'd be very excited to see that in the middle lane since I'm all for wacky picks.
Yeah, if Gragas being his most played champion this season by quite a big margin, that would be interesting to see whether or not they flex it as the jungler also does play it as we're heading into draft and Thresh ban coming down
I feel like we've
for the
always seen that Thresh ban first.
yeah, I guess Saint will must have a pretty scary looking OPGG with that Thresh. I'm not sure
No, there
how
goes the
much.
Gragas.
And the Gragas ban coming down. They don't want to deal with the flex. Flex picks are some of the most annoying things to deal with. If 3 or 4 roles like you can really put that Gragas in, so that's a very good ban. As we see as well, a Graves and a Pantheon ban, and then Samira, Akali, and Thresh ban. As this was pro drafted, so the draft it has already taken place. So this is why the players are just locking in very quickly and locking in their own champions.
Yeah, they're flying through this one. And then as you can see already in the top lane, we got the Camille versus Ornn, which was a matchup we saw, I think, a couple days ago in, I think, round two, I believe. So we'll see how Diesel can counteract Camille, who is very strong right now and has a lot of agency, especially with a Galio on the team. That's one combo to watch out for.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing pretty standard picks coming down from the Vipers. Diesel on his Ornn. He pretty much takes that whenever it's open, it seems like. So that's definitely a staple pick. And Morn on his Elise, really a pocket pick, really one of his most comfortable champions. And he's able to really take over games early with that. Also paired with ZMT on the Renekton,
Yeah.
sort of an unconventional mid pick, but he's been able to really show up other mid laners on these bruiser, champions where he can go very aggressive and ideally dominate the mid lane and get his team a lead by doing that. Although I'm not
Yeah.
sure how it will be to the Galio, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like Galio will have a fair number of options, obviously, with that taunt and knockup to buy himself some time or try and disengage from ZMT on that Renekton. But ZMT and Morn are kind of like bread and butter. Renekton and Elise in that middle lane. Morn has pulled off some incredible dives, and so has ZMT whenever he gets a champion that wave and in and out of tower range.
Yeah, absolutely. On the side of Frostfire, they have the Camille and the Galio. That is a very well-known deadly combo where once you get ulted by Camille and Galio ults on top of her, there is no escaping. So I'll be interested to see whether or not that Camille Galio will be taken into effect because I've seen so many games where Camille Galio is picked and nobody really does anything with it. And the combo, never actually happened. So I'll be interested to see whether or not Frostfire will be able to pull it off properly. As it looks like Frostfire is going for a real heavy team fight comp
Yeah, they
this
have a
game.
lot of options. As you said, the Camille into Galio is a great way to start a fight. Or if one already has begun, Galio can kind of disengage with that ultimate. Zyra could follow up, and then Misfortune's bullet time can just kind of wreck the entirety of the enemy team. And looking at the side of Striking Vipers, I think with their Renekton and Elise, they're going to want to get some solid vision down, try and get some picks early on to build up an advantage, and kind of wait for Russian Ronin to scale up on that Aphelios. I think we've seen the Aphelios Braum before, and it worked out very well. Russian Ronin surprising everyone with a strong performance early on. Historically, Aphelios is pretty weak until he gets a couple levels and items underneath him. But that did not stop Russian Ronin from wreaking havoc on the Rift.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see this Aphelios Brum combo again. As I said last time, Aphelios Braum, very good combo due to the fact that the Chakrams procs the Braum passive very quickly, as well as the red gun. If he has his red gun out and he uses the Q,
Oh
he
yeah,
just spins on him and he procs, three procs of the Braum passive very quickly. And will just lock up a target, and then he can quickly switch to his Chakrams and just melt them down. So that combo very devastating, although it is into a Misfortune and a Zyra, which is also a very devastating combo to play against, as both champions do so much burst damage. If Aphelios gets hit by a root, he'll be dead very quickly. But also, if either of those champions, the Misfortune or the Zyra, gets hit by a stun, they'll as well be getting locked up. So it'll be a very explosive bot lane potentially. Also, the Galio has to build MR to really utilize his champion properly, and playing against Renekton kind of makes it hard to build some MR. So we'll see whether or not how he chooses to itemize around that.
yeah, absolutely. We'll see what adjustments they make based on the champions. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We will be back in a little bit. And we are back coming at you live from Summoner's Rift. Before the game got started, we were discussing some potential places for First Blood. Punk, remind me, where were you thinking it was going to be?
I was saying top lane. I feel like something's gonna happen up there. Camille into Ornn can always be very explosive, and either side can get rolling very quickly. So I want to see. I think we'll see some action in the top lane.
I think Morn and ZMT are going to get a little too aggressive on Galio in the middle lane. And Galio's going to get a taunt off, and Tower will get the First Blood on behalf of Frostfire.
So we got mid lane and bot lane guesses, or mid lane and top lane guesses, which means bot lane's gonna say
Yeah,
prove us both wrong.
I guess the bottom lane then, yeah.
Yeah, that's only reasonable thing. Interesting to
Yeah.
note some of the rune choices. We have Misfortune going for the Arcane Comet and starting tier. Some Misfortunes go for the press the attack. Some go for the tier Comet. I think tier Comet's been more popular, so not too surprising to see that. And we have Galio opting for the Aftershock, really to keep himself alive from those Renekton all-ins. So interested to see where the build paths are going to go with those still for that Galio.
Yeah, he does a surprising amount of damage. I'm always a fan of Electrocute, but I really think Aftershock choice. As you said, when CMT tries to go in with that Renekton, he can negate a whole lot of damage while dishing it himself. And then take another glance back at that bottom lane. Both the Misfortune and Zyra with that Arcane Comet are going to be very frustrating to deal with if you're rushing around in St. Ghoul, as they're not going to really have a whole lot of chances to get these minions. As you can already see, they're kind of getting poked out and pushed back. And I think without help from Morn, we're not going to see a whole lot happening down there. So they'll probably just hug the tower.
Yeah, that bot lane very hard to deal with, especially the like you said, the double common. It's essentially like playing against double mages, and for Aphelios, that is some of the least fun things. Something to note: Aphelios has one of the lowest base magic resists in the game, especially for marksman. So early on, when Aphelios was super busted and super annoying to deal with, people started running double mage comms to deal with Aphelios. Specifically because his MR is so low compared to other marksmen, so it's super effective against him. So
it's like playing against 2/3 of an Aurelian soul.
Yeah, super unfun for the Aphelios to deal with.
Yeah, I can already see switching the attention to the middle lane more and staking it out. I don't think this Galio is going to be pushed up far enough. He knows he's going to be in danger early on. And he's stepping up right now. ZMT going and gets the stun off. Here comes Morn trying to look for it. Coast Kennen walking into the bush. That'll save his life. Nobody knows who's there. Missing things going out. It's Lilia. It's not been spotted just yet.
Yeah, looks like failed gank attempt with ZMT losing quite a bit of his health bar, but nothing too bad coming out. And it's the both junglers will take Scuttle, and we have some little bit of trading going on the bot lane. At least Path and top side though as the fight starts.
Yeah, Platypus going in on a Diesel. The clap damage is crazy. Grasp of the Undyne helped him out a little bit, but here to secure the kill. The red buff slowly ticking down. One auto will do it, and First Blood going over to Morn.
Yeah, absolutely. Well played by Morn. You have to question why Platypus was that far up. He even took a tower shot in that exchange with Diesel, knowing that his jungler was on bot Scuttle. He should have kind of maybe played a bit more passive, knowing that Morn would probably be going for that top Scuttle. But he pays for it with his life, as Diesel is kind of an awkward situation now, having a wave pushing. And
yeah, he's
kind
got so many minions, though. You just got to wait for Platypus to auto him, but kind of lead him into the bush. We'll see if it'll work out for him. And I guess it will. He'll be able to recall, and we'll have the teleport ready and available.
Yeah, sort of unfortunate position to be in. He's going to lose a bit of XP, but luckily he will be able to teleport back, as bot lane just really getting used and abused down there.
Getting pummeled.
Super unfun. Also like to point out, I did get the first blood prediction correct, so, you know. Although Morn did get the kill.
No need to gloat. No need to...
You know, Morn kind of taking the kill, I think that doesn't really count on, you know. Also, Ibram did say Morn would do something early, so good on Ibram to call that one out.
Looking for round 2 up on the top side. Ibram trying to double down right there.
Man, bot lane really getting pushed in. This farm difference already you can see, as that is not very fun.
Yeah, there's not much they can really do. I feel like they're just going to try and stop their backs right here.
Yeah, the Zyra almost locking down the Braum with the root, but he was just able to get out in time. As a little bit of a fight for vision there. ZMT
Yeah,
taking the paper.
Morn's shadowing, and so is Throw. So we'll see if any fights break out. Which I guess for now, Morn is just opting to try and build advantages elsewhere on the map, kind of leaving the bottom lane out to dry, just because Aphelios is kind of weak early on anyways. So I think the game plan for Striking Vipers, wait for Russian Roan to scale up, wait for Diesel to pass out some ornaments, and try and let ZMT and Morn do the damage early on.
Yeah, absolutely. That Braum Aphelios can't really do a whole lot except for try and scale up. Braum, a pick for Zinkle, he's been picking quite a bit as we have an ulti coming down.
Yeah, we're already seeing a dive. The Ornhorn connects onto Platypus. He gets the stun off onto aggro, picking up the second kill of this game. Down the middle lane, ZMT getting very aggressive. Pops Dominus, gives him enough health to stay alive. Could potentially pursue the kill, but the minions will fall. With that, no harm, no foul.
Yep, Morn, really a good dive again. Morn typically really showing his ability to dive in pretty much all the games that we've seen from the Vipers, as he picks up another kill on the top lane, really giving Diesel some help. As you said earlier in their games this season, they were kind of leaving Diesel out to dry, but it looks like no more, as this game he already has 2 kill participation in the game.
He is getting a whole bunch of gold into his pocket. Already has that Sunfire and a Bramble Vest, excuse me, early on. So he's looking to just soak up a whole lot of damage when we eventually see a fight. His teleport will be down for a while along with Platypuses. So if anything breaks out around the Dragon Pit, I doubt we'll be seeing either of them. But for now, Cloud Dragon is alive and well, enjoying his life freely.
Oh man, that Aphelios is really getting chunked under his tower. Kind of wish to see either ZMT or Diesel save their TPs in this early game, because they have a really good flanking TP ward.
Yeah, I'm
in
surprised.
That bush, but there's no TPs to go along with it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, they've been using the TPs just to get back to lane instead of helping out the bottom lane. And Frostfire really haven't utilized that bot lane pressure to the fullest. Dragon's still up and alive. Kothro has not really been making his presence known until right now. More caught out right here. And just Caster's Curse, I spoke it into existence right there.
Yeah, that's a really good. That was a blind route there from the Zyra, able to catch out Morn as he was using his sweeper, so he was expecting, or not expecting that at all. He thought he was off vision, but Zyra sniffed that one out, just dropped a plant, dropped through her E, and locked him down. And Coldthrow able to pick up, as we see Misfortune is ulting the wave, really just making sure Aphelios misses as much CS as possible, as we see quite a big CS differential in the ball lane right now.
Yeah, double. And they also pick up the Cloud Dragon. So yeah, everything I said completely negated.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Vipers seem to have a pretty big priority on this Aphelios Braum. It does get punished, and I don't believe Aphelios is that strong right now. I mean, they definitely did make it work in that other game, but we'll see if they continue with the priority on that champion.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him switch up game 2, win or lose, just kind of based off the early game performance. Up on the top side, though, Diesel has been doing a great job beating up this Camille. She already had to invest early into some magic resistance to stop that clap damage. And it'd also be helpful whenever Morn decides to walk by.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the Galio already building a Seeker's Arm Gird, so interesting to see. He definitely did build up a little bit of armor to keep him safe, as ZMT's Renekton could definitely just run right through a lot of squishy champions in the mid lane. But this Galio being quite a bit safe with the Aftershock and the Seeker's Arm Gird already.
Yeah, he is going to be doing a whole lot of damage despite being pretty tanky with that Aftershock and on guard. And I wouldn't mind him walking down into the bottom lane along with the Lilia and maybe try and set up a dive with his ultimate. Coulthard could go in, put him to sleep, line up an easy Galio knockup, give a little magic shield as well. And I think that'd be a pretty easy maneuver for Frostfire. ZMT is rotating down just in case any funny business happens, but Frostfire secure the first tower so far. Dragon's up in 3. So I think with that, we'll just be seeing plays for the plates. Luckily, Morn did snag Rift Herald while the enemy jungler was sleeping. So with that, Striking Vipers can look to inject a little bit more gold into their team.
Yeah, the Gale Force already coming out for that Misfortune. She got every single tower plate. Oh, and we have a dive.
Round 2, baby. Oh my god, the Cocoon connected. I did not expect that. Well, a nice pickup there for Rift Herald.
Or just took that Rift
Herald. Oh, MF is there with the Gale Force flying in, trying to get more. The Cocoon connects once again. I really expected Platypus to get away off that tether jump off the wall, but Morn with the fast hands hits the Cocoon to my surprise, and they get another easy kill up in the top lane.
Yeah, well played once again by Morn and Diesel, really showing off their ability to pull off those dives as Morn is with the repeat on the top lane as sort of sacking her bot lane. As the tower did fall quite early on, Misfortune having that Gale Force and that tier already is pretty much stacking, just really getting strong in this game.
Yeah, she's going to be a pain to deal with, as you mentioned earlier. She has a huge CS lead on this Felios. Russian Ronin, really not much he could do in the bottom lane. Same with St. Cool, and Morn getting caught out right here. The taunt into the Justice punch. Morn trying to get out, but Lilia's waiting for him. Here comes CMT to the rescue. The Cocoon connects, but Camille over the wall secures the kill. There's the Galio ultimate. It will not connect. CMT Lex on 1 kill, and now he's in a 1v2. I don't know if he's going to be able to win this one. Trying to make it out up on the top side. Diesel fighting off 2 members of Frostfire. And with that, St. Gould comes to ZMT's aid as Frostfire decide to back off.
Yeah, ZMT still wants this.
Unless he wants to force the fight. And Platypus trying to chunk out St. Gould, the ultimate coming through. ZMT a little too low to look for an extended fight. I feel like that was a little bit of a misplay.
Yeah, it was definitely a bit greedy from ZMT. Really wanted that 2v2, but didn't quite have the damage, and he was just a little bit too low from that previous trade, as we saw in the top lane. Oh, we have some more action.
Russian Ronin forced the flash, immediately slowed down by Platypus. Proposed out the Moonlight Vigil. Gets a good chunk of damage, but he's in the danger zone right now. I think one more through Camille's abilities would have netted Platypus a kill. Luckily, the rest of the team rotated down just in case.
Yeah, luckily for the Aphelios, that Camille is a little bit behind of where she would want to be from all the pressure being put on her. As we see, Misfortune just got all the plays on this tower too, as she might be the most fed player without a single kill participation in the game. Just getting all these tier stacks, getting all these plates and towers. Just really strong, as we see Vipers taking the dragon, as they will even up the dragon square, and we will see an Infernal Soul this game. That will definitely make this game a lot more spicy, as both teams have a lot of burst damage and a lot of damage in general to utilize that Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to that point, and I think we will. It still is relatively even. The majority of the gold is invested into Azog the Defiler with his Misfortune. And that double comment in the bottom lane really paid off. You saw him bully Russian Ronin and St. Gould for the past 9 minutes, and then they rotated up to the top lane, and then did the exact same thing to Diesel and took his tower as well.
Yeah, absolutely. As you look at the gold graph, we see Misfortune already sitting on 6,400 gold, with the Aphelios sitting on 4,100 gold. Over a 2k gold, with both players having 0 kill participation, is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Really showing the power of objectives.
Objectives win games.
Absolutely.
Who knew?
See, Camille is a bit behind of the Ornn.
Russian Run getting locked down with the Hex Tech ultimatum in the bottom lane. Not much he can play, but he won't be able to. Platypus doing a great job staying just outside that turret range. And the MF and Zyram rotate to the middle lane and take another tower. and really open up the map for Frostfire.
Yeah, unfortunately for Russian Ronin, he's kind of being the punching bag of Frostfire right now, just them putting a lot of pressure on him, not letting him scale. They've seen what he was able to do when he gets his items, so they're saying, nope, you're not getting to your items. As we'll be able to see if Striking Vipers are able to get to that late game point where your team fight can be very deadly, or if they will just be put too far behind and maybe if these mid-game fights don't go too well, especially with the Camille Galio combo we were talking about before, we'll see who they utilize that on and how much it's utilized with that ulti combo.
Yeah, I think in those team fights, they really are going to need to rely on those orange and Sankuel to try and peel for this Felios, since he's really their only consistent damage. ZMT and Morn are going to dive into the backline, try and take out Misfortune as quickly as possible. But once that's done, you still have the Lilia and Zyra, and you still have the whole team to deal with. And it's going to be tough, so I'll be curious to see how they approach the fight. Will they try and get a pick early? Will they look to flank and catch them off guard? Or will they just try and avoid the team and get some objectives elsewhere on the map while conceding a few to try and just wait this game out?
Yeah, Lilia looks like she's taking the Rift Herald right now as it's going to fall down. So that's the second Rift Herald down, as the next spawn will be a Baron in 3 minutes, as well as an Infernal Dragon in 2 minutes. So I'll be interested to see how these mid-game team fights go, as Misfortune already finished her Manamune and Gale Force, and her boots, as the Aphelios just sitting on his Gale Force right now. We have a Gore Drinker for the Renekton. Really, the items not too different across the board. Most of the gold lead being in that bot lane, the mid lane, ZMT having a small lead, the jungle relatively even, and the top lane, Diesel having a small lead. So be interested to see whether or not they go for the 5v5s around these mid-game objectives, or whether or not they just want to concede them and try and let their Aphelios get strong, because later in the game, there's
Yeah,
not a
they
lot
can
that can deal with them.
1v9.
Yeah. The
Yeah, with that
ornaments.
Gale Force, and then hopefully a pair of boots soon. Or I guess one boot, according to the item image.
Yeah.
You should be a little bit more mobile in these fights, can try and dodge the Camille, get out of the way of any Zyra roots. But yeah, in those fights, they're really going to struggle, I think, unless they can play him perfectly. Ornn is going to need to hit some crazy knockups, plant that pillar, and dive right in, trying to knock up all 5 members of Frostfire. Because without that, they can really only lock down single targets with Morn, with ZMT. And I don't think a single target lockdown is going to really cut it, because Galio's ultimate can disengage and buy him a little bit more time to get those extended fights. Camille can try and pick off the Aphelios. Lilia can put the whole team to sleep. They just have so many options when it comes to team fighting that I'm thinking Striking Vipers might just try and avoid them.
Yeah, they definitely could. Striking Vipers, one thing to note, after last week of just constant fighting and constant aggression, this game very slow and very, a lot more tame from the Vipers. So I'm curious as to see whether or not they are just playing to scale and that's why they're playing a lot less aggressive, or what really is going through their heads in terms of how this game is so much more tame compared to last week, as we see the dragon being started up by Frostfire Vipers and no position to contest right now.
Yeah, they're lacking a whole lot of vision. They really only have the top side ward, which Baron's not going to be spawning for a little bit. And so they're going to give over the first Infernal Dragon for 3. The beginning of the end has started. And with that, they've got to start prioritizing dragons. And so they get the third one. They're very close to losing at that point, since Infernal Soul is very impactful.
Yeah, absolutely. That Infernal Soul, as I said before, on either team, just blow up the other team and really just take over the game with that objective. So we probably will see a fight around that third one if they are able to get to those item spikes that the Vipers want to get to. So it looks
Yeah.
like it's getting a little bit of vision, a little bit of a mid-game lull going on here.
Yeah, if they can just inch that vision line up, I'd feel a whole lot better about the Striking Viper's position, since that would enable Morn and ZMT to look for the picks we've been talking about, and maybe try and get a shutdown on the Misfortune and the Camille, since the Misfortune has not died yet, hasn't hasn't really done much except for bully out the enemy bottom lane, but still has a 250 gold bounty, which really shows how much plate gold and how much CS gold Azog the Defiler have gotten.
Yeah, the Zyra got that red off the burn damage. A little bit unfortunate for the Misfortune. She was trying to wait out the
Yeah.
trying to wait out
The
the
one thing
build.
that doesn't go Misfortune's way, the support stealing the red.
Yeah, as we have an
Kill from
engage
the
here
bottom
on.
lane. Yeah, Morn able to wait out the sleep. Single flashing forward, trying to disengage. So damage jumps over the wall, rush and run, and he'll stay alive. Well played by St. Fool right there. And in the bottom lane, a little bit of a fight breaking out. He's doing a whole lot of damage to Platypus. But while that's happening, he can't really help out in any team fights. So Frostfire just kind of free to walk it in, escort Shelly directly into their base. And with that, she gets the charge off on the inhibitor tower.
Yeah, the Shelly really Frostfire just pushing down all these towers, especially with the Misfortune and Zyra, just being able to zone off any members. This Diesel going in here on Platypus.
Yeah, look at that orange damage. Like, full tank. And still just clapping people.
Yeah, Diesel really an aggressive player in the 1v1s. He's never afraid to really just go in, especially this game where he has such a good lead on the Camille, who's just finished her Triforce and is working on her second item. As we'll see, Baron did come up and Dragon up in 2 minutes. We'll see where the Vipers decide to prioritize, and the gold lead only at 400 or 4,000 rather right now.
Yeah, still not super big. As we said earlier, a lot of it is on the Misfortune. And so it's doable if they can take her out of a fight, which we have yet to see a full-blown team fight. Which if Diesel is off fighting in a 1v1 in another lane, I don't think there's much the Striking Vipers can do, which luckily he does have his teleport up, so he can try and 1v1 Platypus, and right before a fight breaks out, come in, get a solid flank with that Oran Horn, and try and get as many people up into the air as possible, and buy Striking Vipers time to dish out the damage.
Definitely, we see a lot of members around this mid lane. That tier 2 mid lane tower is a very valuable tower to have up, as it really protects your jungle and protects your vision line. So we'll probably see.
I think ARAM is just really underrated.
Honestly, that's just a superior strategy.
I think it is. It's fun. There's constant action and plenty of practice for fights.
Absolutely.
We might be seeing one breakout right here. Here comes Diesel's Oran Horn. Dash in. The Galio ultimate coming through to dissuade any further pursuits. And with the Oran Horn gone, the Striking Vipers need to be careful. CMT just decides to go in, takes a Justice Punch right to the face, but stuns up Azog the Defiler. He flashes forward, gets the shutdown. That's what they need to win this fight. As Galio trying to keep the rest of his team alive, doing a great job healing. But here comes Camille coming in from the side, secures the kill on the ZMT. Lilia into the backline, trying to take out Rush and Ronin. But the Hex Tech ultimatum will be there as well. Platypus continuing to follow through. And with that, that'll be an ace for Frostfire. And I think Frostfire can look to take an inhibitor here.
Yeah, Striking Viper's really going hard for that Misfortune, as you saw ZMT and the Oran Horn, and just them using as much as they could to lock her down. On the backside, though, the Frostfire members, especially the Camille and the Zyra, were putting out so much damage on their backline, and Vipers really had nowhere to go as they tried running away, but just the Lilia move speed and the Zyra and the Camille lockdown just ran them through as a huge team fight win coming over for Frostfire, as they will also be able to get this third dragon uncontested.
Yeah, I think in the next fight, if the Oran Horn and Misfortune dying aren't two separate events, the Striking Vipers could win. Or at least win that team fight. But with that, and them blowing really their one, or I guess they have the Braum ultimate as well, but the Oran Horn is just so effective at forcing a fight and not really being able to follow up on that. Galio using his ultimate to stop that. That's really all the Striking Vipers had, while on the side of Frostfire, once again, they just have so many tools in their toolkit.
Yeah, they did get Misfortune's flash out and cleanse. The flash coming out from the Oran Horn and the cleanse coming out from the Renekton stun. So Misfortune is down both their sums, but we'll see if they try and fight that same way, as they blew quite a bit and really focus that misfortune down, but it wasn't quite enough as the Filio's still not quite as a second item yet. So really, they don't have that backline consistent damage that they really need. I think once he gets probably to his third or fourth item, Frostfire will definitely have to put a lot more attention into him, and he can definitely take over these team fights. But will I
Yeah,
be able to see? It looks like they're fighting around this dragon or Baron.
yeah. They I don't know if they should take this fight. It's gotta be they gotta do it very carefully, try and get a pick. Uh, as you said, the cleanse and flash are off that misfortune, so it's gonna be up to this Galio and Zyra to keep their carry alive, which the Galio did a great job when that fight broke out, punching CMT right in the face. Oh, they're hanging around over by Baron. This
Yeah, look at the
Camille
base.
is just
Yeah,
taking the base. MF also walking it in.
Viper is
King's
a bit
coming out. Yeah,
questionable.
Vipers
They
kinda
have
caught with their
two
pants down
TP.
right there, as they might lose another inhibitor, which will then set up Frostfire for a free Baron. Galio coming in to try and save his teammate's life, gets a huge knockup, takes out Russian Ronin, while they're also taking the inhibitor in the bottom lane. The Ornn connects on Misfortune, unable to use Gale Force as they chain the CC beautifully. More now all alone up in the wrong side of the jungle. He'll get taken out. And right now, Striking Vipers are in quite the pickle. Two inhibitors down, Baron's up. They can't really contest it right now, as it looks like they're just going to clear some vision, wait for their teammates to respawn,
They're starting it
or
up.
not. They're just going to start it up.
Yeah. Those both junglers are still dead for 20 seconds, about 13 seconds, as this won't be spotted out yet from the Vipers, so this could come down to a potential steal if the Ornn or the Braum start walking over, as it looks like Aphelios is starting to walk from base. Although it doesn't look like the Vipers have any idea this is going on.
Yeah, they're sneaking it. They, yeah, they just had to push out those lanes with the super minions, but at what cost? Frostfire now has Baron. I think that was in time with the respawn, so I'm pretty sure that's on all 5 members. So they can either push the super minions in and send the rest of the team up to the top lane, or play a bit of ARAM up in the top lane, let the minions do the work, and just kind of squeeze out the life of Striking Vipers.
Yeah, I feel like that was a big mistake from Striking Vipers to not match that Camille, as they had both Ornn and Renekton TP up at the time. So they had no one protecting that ball lane, which was a little bit confusing. So they just gave up so much priority, as that fight did end up being a 2-for-2, with both marksmen and junglers falling on both sides. But interesting note, or important to note, Frostfire did get the Baron and are now really pushing it. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! Platypus almost in one shot and Russian right there. But Lili is there to finish the job. Coulter with the kill. Simply trying to keep the rest of his team alive once again. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough as he gets taken out. Diesel also caught in the middle of the bull time coming out as Coulter picks up his second kill of this fight. And with all these Baron-empowered minions, this could be game. Pretty hefty respawn timers on 3 members of the Striking Vipers. I don't think ZMT and Morn will be able to do it, as Camille goes flying in the Galio ultimate looking for the knockup. Morn repels, trying to get away from this fight. He doesn't want to be another statistic. He's taken out. Same with... Oh, no, he's not. He's staying alive in the base. Hold on. Will they be able to get him? Or the game is out. They won't. And with that, Frostfire with a 14-8 victory game 1.
Yeah, Frostfire really coming out swinging in this first game off the back of a few mistakes from the Vipers, especially in that Baron fight. Really dominant
Yeah.
performance though. Or well, I wouldn't really call it a dominant performance. It looked very slow early on, but especially their end game felt a lot more dominant, a lot more clean
Yeah.
overall instead of Frostfire.
I think part of that Striking Vipers kind of towards the end, it looked like when they went for the Baron while Camille was split pushing, they didn't fully commit to one or the other. They got a quick kill. Morn stayed over there while the rest of the team kind of backed off towards the base. And in those late game scenarios when you're playing behind, you really just need to make a decision as a team and stick to it together. Since a bad decision together is better than 2 good decisions split at that point, because you're too weak to really do anything by yourself or just with one other person. And I think that was really kind of what enabled Frostfire to close out the game and in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Frostfire just playing off the back of Striking Vipers, a bit of confusion in their decision making as they took the victory. So, what would you
Yeah.
say that you would like to see Striking Vipers to change going into the second game?
I mean, so far in this tournament, game two for the Striking Vipers is always explosive. So I think they're going to come back and be very aggressive early on. As we saw, they kind of played on the back foot the whole time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more pocket picks coming out and they just come out swinging right away. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned as we wait for the next draft to get started up. And we are back after quite a game one striking Vipers against Frostfire. It was pretty even throughout the early and mid game, but then towards the end, it slowly slipped away from the striking Vipers as Frostfire really pulled together, made some great decisions, took an Baron to end the game. And with all those things in mind, Punk, who do you think on the striking Vipers uh, will try and win their lane to get this game to get this game too?
Well, I think we'll see another strong performance from the top lane, to be honest. He has been popping off in a lot of his games, including the last one. Unfortunately, when you're Ornn and you're ahead, there's not a lot you can do. Although, if he plays a more aggressive champion this time, we might see another bit of a top diff as we did against even Cloud9 uh, amateur in that last game versus them. So we'll see who really steps up this game. I think they're going to definitely change their strategy up a bit. It looked like they picked that scaling bot lane, and it just did not quite pan out as Misfortune and Zyra were taking all these towers, getting these huge gold leads, and they never even were able to really come online, not quite get the items on those that Aphelios that they wanted. So I'll be interested to see what they change up and what champs they prioritize this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they switch it up. Russian Ronin is pretty strong on the Kaisa, which will for sure make the bottom lane a little bit of a different pace for him as opposed to that Aphelios. I wouldn't mind seeing Diesel on that Aatrox as well. That is quite the force. So I think that in those fights later on would be a great way to dish out some damage and win game two. And then, yeah, I think just pocket picks all around would be huge for the Striking Vipers. So I'll be curious to see who Frostfire decide to ban out. Will they once again target St. Ghoul with a Thresh ban early on? Will they keep trying to ban out ZMT in the middle lane? So I'll be curious to see where those get dished out to.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if even the Irelia makes it through, because we have been seeing more on his Elise and Diesel on his Ornn and Aatrox, but we haven't seen the Irelia yet today. So hopefully we'll might be able to see some of that coming out too, as that's always a spicy pick in the mid lane, always going blow for blow, and maybe we'll also be able to see some more action, as the last mid lane was quite underwhelming, very even, very farm heavy, not a lot of action, but CMT
Yeah.
more so in that style of really going all in mid lanes. And I think Galio also might have been a problem for them, as he's very good at just shutting down a lane and just making it, very unfun for anyone. Just one shotting the wave and leaving and saying, if you train all in me, I'll press W, proc Aftershock, and walk away.
Yeah. Well,
So we'll
maybe
see
they'll
what he
ban
does.
out the Galio, just try and remove that Camille combo. But they didn't really even use that. I feel like that game. And the Galio ultimate was kind of a non-factor. And yeah, ZMT, but it did shut down ZMT, I think, on which you saw how aggressive he was with only 2 dashes that slice and dice. Imagine if there could potentially be infinite dashes on that Aurel.
Yeah, absolutely. The Galio Camille, like I said, but as we were loading into that game, you never really see it used optimally or really see it used the way it is designed, which is always funny because on paper, Camille Galio sounds like you're just going to be spamming those ultis on cooldown, but in reality, you never really see it happen. So we'll be interested to see if they decide to opt in for it again, as it did work out, although they didn't really combo it very much, or if they'll opt for something different and what the Vipers
Yeah,
will switch up going into game number two.
they could throw it in as a support, maybe support Galio, just to try and get a little bit more utility out of that ultimate. Since then he'd have a bit more time to try and roam around up to the middle lane at least, or even help out his jungler if the jungler decides to invade. But yeah, I think for the side of Frostfire, their strategy will be more or less the same. It worked once, why not run it back? Try and stop ZMT early on. Platypus was a little bit of a punching bag on the top side for Frostfire, as Morn and Diesel really focused him down and kind of left Russian Ronin and St. Ghoul to their own devices, which with that in mind, I think this game, Morn will look to help out Russian Ronin a little bit more, just from all the bullying bullying we saw last game. And with that, we'll see who the first bans are going to be. A Samir coming in first.
Yeah, we see the bans coming through. Samir and Gragas both banned out. As we said before, that Gragas, a lot of games on the mid
I
laner.
want to see that Gragas mid.
Yeah, Koskinen. I'm not positive how to say that name, but we've seen a lot of games on him with Gragas, so it looks like Vipers will not take their chances. Also,
Yeah.
it being an annoying flex to deal with, as we see Camille, and also these picks were as well pro drafted already before, so we'll go through draft pretty quickly with everyone picking their own champions. So we see the Camille, the Aatrox, and the Elise immediately being picked up. Camille into Aatrox this time, though. I'm very interested to see this
Alrighty.
matchup as
Yeah, you
Diesel.
thought you thought Ornn was doing damage. Wait till you see the Aatrox.
Yeah, wait till you see the Aatrox, especially because that Eclipse build again. That'd be interesting. Eclipse
Yeah, the
Electrocute last.
lethality, that was a new one to me. I had not seen that before. I'm just so used to Bruiser Aatrox, but
Yeah.
that lethality, the little bit of shielding that Eclipse gives you, and the considerable damage you do ends up healing you a whole lot with his.
Yeah, last match or last series versus Cloud9 Amateur, Diesel did pull out that Aatrox and really just show off with that Eclipse Electrocute build and really had a good game, although unfortunately in the end they did lose it. He did perform really well, as we also see Morn on his Elise, a very standard pick for him, as he did play it in the last game too. We see the Oriana coming in for ZMT. He is really good for his control mages, although I know it's not something he prefers playing as much as something very aggressive. So it looks like he will be playing into a Galio again. So he knows that that Galio can really shut him down and really just make that lane go even if he wants to. So he won't be picking something too aggressive into it. And we see Russian Ronin and Saint Ghoul going on Kaisa Bard this game versus that is a Nico 80 carry you're looking at right now and a Seraphine support. So this will be a very interesting matchup. Nico not well, a traditional marksman in the sense.
It's been a
So
long time since I've seen that. That was only
yeah,
on release. I feel like.
yeah, it was out for a little while with that on hit Nico build. Also, they do have quite a bit of AD and AP damage, so I'm curious to see if he goes. Yeah, traditionally you do go that on hit Nico though in the bot lane, so we'll see what Azog decides to do.
Yeah,
As I'm not
maybe
sure about that matchup in bot lane.
try and pick up an early Gwynsu's, I guess. Blade of the Ruin King and maximize that on hit damage.
I wonder if it will be a Kraken Slayer. Kraken Slayer does work very well with her W passive, which amplifies the damage on your third attack, as well as Kraken Slayer also doing that, giving you that bonus treat damage on your third attack. Or if she will opt for the Gale Force to make her more mobile and put out some more damage and even really position herself better with that ultimate. So that'll be interesting to see what the Nico build decides to go. Where do you think, or which matchup do you think is going to be the most explosive, though? Where do you think we're going to have the most action this game?
I think it's got to be the top lane, Aatrox, Camille. They're gonna be duking it out over those minions all the time. Diesel trying to hit that sweet spot with his blade. Camille, on the other hand, gonna try and get some stuns off and poke him out before fully committing to an extended fight, I think. And yeah, I think top lane, bottom lane. I don't know how much damage Nico's gonna do. It's been so long since I've seen this, so that for sure is gonna be something to watch. I think the Bard and Kaisa will be just fine though, with Nico being uh, on hit. She does have to walk up really instead of sitting back, throwing out abilities, which will enable Saint Ghoul to look for those stuns more often. And then in the middle lane, I think that'll just be farming for the most part. ZMT can probably dish out some damage with that clockwork wind up early on. But Galio does have a free magic shield once he gets some points into his W, which that will enable him to last longer, keep farming up, and even deal some damage to ZMT.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be interested to see where the damage is really being dealt. I will note that Frostfire's comp is very team fight heavy, whereas I feel like Vipers are a little bit more all over the place, where Kaisa, not really an AoE damage champion that you would pair with Oriana too often, and then Aatrox really relying on those resets. So their comp's a little bit all over. Also, they have a lot of early game pick potential with the Lee Sin Bard. So I'm curious to see what they go for in this game.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting matchup. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we are back on Summoner's Rift, Game 2, Striking Vipers versus Frostfire. And we have the Nico in the bottom lane, which I'm excited to see how that pans out. Punk, you were right, Game 1 along with Ebron. First blood will come from Game 2.
Ooh, game 2. You know what? I'm gonna predict it's gonna come from the bot lane. I feel like we're gonna see a lot of fighting going on. Ebron predicted Morn's getting that first blood again. How about you, Worth It? What do you have?
I It's got to be the top lane. I'll take your guys' pick from Game 1.
Ooh,
Top lane
stealing our
is
pick.
too spicy. Yeah, it has to be.
All right, as we do see that Nico has the Comet and a Doran's Ring. She is an AP Nico, which Ebron did call out. So I'll be excited to see what they decide to do in this bot lane. Sort of another double AP threat. Luckily, Russian Ronin not on the Aphelios, who really struggles against those AP champions.
Yeah.
Ronin is opting in for those AP magic resist in his runes, as well as Saint Ghoul, so they do have that extra MR to keep them safe in the laning phase.
Yeah, a little bit of MR will go a long way this game, considering the Galio, Nico, and Seraphine are really going to be their only problems early on.
Wow, some really aggressive trading from ZMT, just ignoring those minions and beating down that Galio. He's very, very low already, as it looks like ZMT will be able to
pick up Oriana. He could have gone for something.
Yeah, he definitely could have looked for some Ignite Cheese if he had it up, although it's a lot more unconventional. So we see ZMT going early, a very aggressive very early, as you see a little bit of trading in the top.
Yeah, Platypus hitting that level 2. He's got that advantage. Getting taken down to half. And that was just a little unfortunate for him. Unable to get that bottom lane. Look at the damage from this Nico Seraphine. The Ignite coming through onto Russian Ronin. Well, the return Ignite onto Azog the Defiler. And they're about even on health. And maybe I'll be wrong once again. And you and Ebron still have the opportunity to get that first blood.
Yeah, that sort of awkward moment where you're playing double mage and you use your full combo, as we have an invade here. Morn going on Coltro in the jungle.
Looking to take out that Hecarim, but here comes Morn repels. Here is ZMT to help out. The bottom lane rotated up as well. So they'll be able to escape. He misses the snare, and with that, the Seraphine gets it, and first blood goes over to Coltro.
Yeah, very good repel. Oh my goodness, the flash from ZMT to pick up that Seraphine kill, making it a 1-for-1. A very good smite and repel from Morgan to be able to dodge all of Galio's abilities, as well as heal himself back up and secure the red. But unfortunately, the double root from the Seraphine was able to lock him down and kill him, as we have a lot of flashes blown early on. Galio flashing, Ghost from Hecarim, flash from Nico, flash from Seraphine, as well as a flash from ZMT to secure that kill and a flash from Morn to get out. So that's a lot of flashes down very early on, as we did
a lot of summoners just to be 1-1.
Yeah, quite true, as it looks like the Hecarim did pick up that first blood, so it looks like nobody quite had that prediction.
Yeah, I mean, it was on the jungler, so I think Ebron was closest.
Yeah, close enough, right?
Yeah.
Morn will get
game 3. Make another one.
Yeah, if we do game 3. Morn's sitting on a ward. The Frostfire doesn't know he's there. He's kind of just wasting his time right now. I'm not sure if he realizes that they are playing very passive, as the ward will die out and Morn will... Oh, he does not realize the ward died out. He's still just sitting there. Morn is really just chilling.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, the Nico spotted him out with her hoodie.
Yeah, Nico just her W. He said, "Go away, man. Like, just let us farm, please. We know you're there. Stop wasting our time."
Well, they did a great job not baiting him out, standing close, but not too close. And that was like a solid 30 seconds. And with Morn being spotted on that ward, that gave Coltro the opportunity to head into the jungle. And it looks like he picked up the can. Now in the bottom lane, Russian Ronin forced to cleanse as Senku looks to try and get a stun off. And that combo in the bottom lane gets so much burst damage off.
Yeah, absolutely. The double root just locking him in place. I mean, even with the cleanse, he just took so much damage, and they just both their abilities very similar as the root stun will go down.
Oh, teleport coming in as well from heal. Sanko's in a little bit of trouble. Here comes Diesel though. His teleport blocking Ghoul. Who's gonna get the kill first? Diesel's here now. Morn up on line. Flash forward from Diesel gets the double knockup. Morn takes out the Nico. And a nice teleport to match Platypuses. And with that, it's now 2-1 striking Vipers.
Yeah, well played from the Vipers. Unfortunate that that cocoon did land on the Nico clone as well played by Nico to sort of fake out the Vipers. But the kill does go down, going over to Morn, it looks like. So good match of the TPs. Both Platypus and Diesel using their TPs to get into that fight, as well as Diesel using his flash to make sure that they get that kill. As we have some more action in the bot lane, looks like both teams are really stepping it up this game.
Yeah, now for once, Russian Ronin has a CS lead. And I am
Ooh.
a fan of the early usage of those teleports. Game 1, we only really saw those used to get back to lane. So I'm happy both teams decided to adjust that part of the strategy and help out this bottom lane on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad to see Vipers, especially saving their TPs after that first game where Misfortune and Zyro were just pushed to the tower the whole game. You have to wonder uh, whether or not that was in the comms to please save your TPs. We have good wards, just help us out. Because I know that is very unfun to play against when you're just stuck under your tower and nobody's able to really help you out. As this game, they were able to utilize those TPs as we have something in the mid lane.
Yeah, uh-oh, Galio in a little bit of trouble here, but has a great aunt. And will completely get away, but Diesel now fighting in a 1v2. Well, here comes Saint Ghoul rotating way up from the bottom lane. ZMT joining the fight. Russian Ronin's gotta be careful here in the bottom lane. Gets locked down with the double snare, and he's taken out by the Nico. And while all that skirmishing was happening up in the top river, Frostfire managed to get a kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, there goes that CS lead. As you see all those minions, Russian Ronin's going to end up losing for that dive. As St. Ghoul going to help the rest of his team out, believing his marksman out to dry. And unfortunately, look at those tower plates once again. As Frostfire's bot lane really loves taking those tower plates. As that was
Yeah.
quite an intense 4v3 going on the top side, but nothing really came of it as both teams just limped away.
It's kind of funny to me because they're like, all right, check the box, help out bottom lane. And then they leave. And then Russian Ronin just gets dived in a 1v2. And now up in the top lane, speaking of diving, Platypus getting very aggressive. Diesel still alive, low on health. A flash forward will secure the kill for Platypus. It'll be at least a 1-1 as Morn returns the favor. And now it's still 3-3. And we're inching towards that kill per minute that I love to see. We're just 2 off right now. If only that Fiesta turned into a full-blown explosive fight, we would be there.
Yeah, absolutely. With all that fighting going on, unfortunately not leading to more kills. But yeah, Diesel, important to note, he did use his flash in that bot lane skirmish. So he did not have it available for that one for 1v1, which Morn was able to use his own flash, though, luckily, to pick up that kill. And a little bit of a trade, although unfortunately it looks like Diesel not in the greatest spot, down a little bit of CS, although looks like he is freezing the wave right now. So he is not in a terrible spot to be able to catch back up to the Camille.
Yeah, and the Camille does have a call, so she's going to be backing that up, or down, I guess, whichever way you want to frame it. Counting down those minions. And then a couple Dark Seals coming through. ZMT picking one up early on. That'll help out with the Corrupting Potion, and he'll try to scale up. Nico also has one. She's been doing a great job dishing out the damage, and will also be looking to scale up.
Yeah, absolutely. Those early game Dark Seals coming through. Well, at least already having those 4 stacks. As it looks like she's looking once again for that Camille, but he will get spotted out on a pink ward. As Ballin going.
Ooh, Saint Ghoul able to connect his ultimate onto the enemy support. Nico has to use that ultimate defensively, but here comes the Hecarim diving. Saint Ghoul's taken out. Russian Ronin on the run, gets hit with the charm. I don't think ZMT is going to be able to make it down. Galio coming to meet Russian Ronin, caught between a horse and a gargoyle, and that kill will be given over to the support.
Yeah, you never want to be caught between a horse and a gargoyle. That's what my mama always told me.
Yeah, that was
Russian Ronin was
right next to
untimely.
Live, Laugh, Love.
Yeah, one of those things, you know. As that 2v2 did look promising at the beginning, but Russian Ronin not quite having enough damage to finish off the Nico as the heal did come down from the Seraphine, and the bot tower looks like it will already be dropping, as well as that Cloud Dragon. So Frostfire already picking up a sizable lead in this.
Another repeat from last game, getting that early tower in the bottom side. And despite having the Kaisa Bard, they still kind of got bullied out by the Nico and Seraphine. Now up into the top side, the bottom lane, and rotating all the way up, or at least St. Ghoul did. That'll be a nice, clean kill, and hopefully Diesel can get a couple plates here.
Yeah, really good run timer there from St. Ghoul, knowing his ADC is in no danger and he can go help out his top laner as we have a ghost coming down from Ekram. He wants this.
Yeah, oh, the horse coming in, and the recall went through. I don't know if he's going to be able to heal enough. He just might, though. The comp didn't proc, but cut down by Colthrow, who's now 2-0-2 with a 250 gold bounty.
Yeah, a little bit awkward there from St. Ghoul to not cancel his recall and kind of leave Diesel out there to dry, as I think if that was a 2v1, they probably would have been able to take down that Hecarim. Although that fight was pretty close if Diesel did have any sort of a lead.
Yeah.
Could have been a win, but unfortunately
maybe he's
that
in the item shop. Who knows?
Yeah, he might just have been, as ZMT putting down quite a bit of damage on this mid lane. He did pick up a kill for himself early on, so I'll be interested to see whether or not he'll be able to scale up and get to a position where he's able to pop off in this game.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty safe with St. Ghoul and more nearby, taking the enemy chickens, but Hecarim returning the favor on their side. And right now, Striking Vipers are looking to set up a dive in this middle lane. Morn walking forward, a bunch of pings coming out, and it looks like Crossfire doing the same top side. Shelly's gonna be dropped in. There's gonna be many plates for Striking Vipers, but Diesel's gotta be careful here. Can he do it? The 1v3. The charm, the sustained CC will secure the kill now into the middle lane. They were able to get the Shelly charge off, but that was about it. Where I think Frostfire might be able to just take the whole tower.
Yeah, Frostfire doing a good job at laying their CC there. Diesel, no flash, no ultimate, had nowhere to go as they do drop the tower. It looks like the plates do go over to ZMT though, so he's getting some more gold in his pocket, as well as you'll notice Kaisa farming uncontested in the bottom lane. So not terrible for Vipers being able to get some gold as Hecarim's sneaking away that red buff unnoticed.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be too bad of an idea for Diesel to invest into the cruiser version of QSS. The one looks I love the item just because it looks like Mordekaiser's old hammer, but then they took away so much of Mordekaiser's old. But I digress. For now, Diesel is just building straight into that Gore Drinker, which will keep him alive a little bit longer in those fights, and no grievous wounds yet on the side of Frostfire.
Yeah, interesting to note that QSS item that does look like Mordekaiser's mace. I saw on the Mordekaiser main subreddit, they were complaining like, right, it's just mocking
Yeah,
us.
they took everything from us.
Giving there's an item that directly counters us and then making it Mordekaiser's mace. Like, come on. But we do notice the Hextech rocket build coming down already for the Nico, whereas looks like Striking Vipers for the most part sitting on components, as we do see also the Divine Thunderer on the Hecarim and the Night Harvester on the Galio.
Yeah, it's going to be a second before Striking Vipers can find a time to recall. Right now, Frostfire doing a good job pushing in this middle lane. Right now, up on the top side, ZMT may have bit off a little bit more than he can chew, but hold on, fight right down the middle lane. The Nico's caught out and taken out before the ult can even get off right there. Seraphine trying to make it back to the tower. She'll be able to. And ZMT duking it out with this Galio once again.
Yeah, well played by St. Ghoul hitting that Bard ultimate on the Nico, and well played by the Vipers to be able to combo her down before that ultimate even pops. As Russian Ronin is in trouble.
Oh my god, the Hecarim dash damage. There's nothing Russian Ronin can really do right there. Cleanse flash, but just ran over.
Yeah, unfortunately, him getting picked off there with that Hecarim. I mean, that guy still had ultimate. He was in no worry about using it though, as the squishy Kaisa did not have her items complete yet.
Yeah.
So he just falls very quickly.
I'm kind of shocked they haven't made a ranged Hecarim, and then somebody could have like a Granny skin for the holiday spirit. Grandma getting ran over by a reindeer. But for now, it's just Russian Ronin or Diesel in the bottom side jungle. He pops his ultimate, a little bit more damage, a little bit more healing as he discourages any further pursuit. St. Cool's got to be careful here. Seraphine's nearby, along with the Nico.
Yeah, it looks like the dragon will be started off. That's a mountain dragon going over to Frostfire. That's going to be their second dragon of the game. As Diesel in trouble.
Diesel in a whole lot of trouble. The Hextech ultimatum's going to seal his fate unless he flash. Won't be enough. As Neil is just on top of it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That flash for flash coming down as Bard in some trouble now.
Oh, another pick coming through. St. Cool able to make it back to his cup of cocoa. As this Hecarim in a little bit of a danger zone. ZMT coming in with support, and he backs off. And once again, we're seeing a whole lot of ARAM.
Yeah, absolutely.
A huge shockwave comboed into the Bard ultimate. They only catch up to Galio. He flashes. The stun still comes through. Nico flashing forward, gets a 5-man comboed into the Hecarim ultimate and the Galio. What a play from Frostfire. Diesel gets taken out next. And now on the side, Platypus pushing in, trying to find more kills. More, you're on the wrong side of the map, buddy. He's gone as well, and one hell of a wombo combo. Crossfire right there.
Yeah, beautiful job by Nico there. Seeing her Galio in trouble, pops that ultimate Hextech into the entire team of Striking Vipers and hits them with that 5-man stun into the Galio ulti. Hecarim following up with his ult, just beautiful wombo from the side of Frostfire, as they will take down 3 members only for their Nico's death.
Yeah, maybe the whole team just needs QSS.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, absolutely. As we look at the gold chart, it looks like the Frostfire team is up 6k gold, specifically the Nico up a little bit over 2.5k gold. The Galio a little bit down in gold, the Hecarim up a little bit over 2 or a little bit under 2,000 gold, and the Camille up a little bit under 2,000 gold as well. So a little bit of a gold advantage across the board really on the side of Frostfire, as it looks like Vipers are playing a lot more sloppy this game, really getting picked off a lot, and not really playing as a team, not looking for too many team plays.
Yeah, at this point, oh no, St. Cool found by Platypus. I wish Striking Vipers right now could have tried to sneak that Rift Herald. Unfortunately, the Galio and Hecarim have made their way up to the top side and will likely be taking it, since at this point, once again, really the only avenue for Striking Vipers to take to kind of get back into this game are to get those picks and try and sneak some objectives. But right now, it looks like they're the ones getting picked. Galio walking in. He has that dead plate, it looks like, as he slows down Diesel, or Predator, excuse me. And right now, Diesel in the 1v2 Hecarim, looking to jump on top of him, gets this Divine Thunder proc with that E in the bottom lane. Platypus in a bit of danger. The Cocoon connects. That's the shutdown gold going over to Morn. And Diesel managed to stay alive in that 1v2.
Yeah, really just Fiesta gameplay going on here. Just random 1v2s across the map. No real objectives going down.
Yeah, no rhyme or reason.
But yeah, a little bit of a overstep there by Platypus, not realizing that Morn was on the bot side of the map, and he was able to land the Cocoon and secure the kill for himself. Morn actually pretty big in this game now at 6-2-1, having almost all the kills, having full kill participation, but 1 kill going over to ZMT.
Yeah, Morn's Dark Seal almost fully stacked at this point, and if they can just keep getting picks like that on Platypus or whoever's split pushing, I think they can find their way back into this game. They still have some shutdown gold to get on that Hecarim and on that Seraphine. Hecarim with that Sterix gauge will be a little bit more difficult to kill, and the healing from Divine Sunder helps out a whole lot as well. So if they can burst him down, or maybe even I don't know if it's worth a Grievous Wounds, but hold on. They catch out the Seraphine, and there's that shutdown goal. As Nico going in, gets the Hex Tech Proto Belt into the St. Ghoul and rushing Ronin, and he's gone. And now in the bottom lane, Camille going on to ZMT Platypus, able to hit him with that Hex Tech Ultimatum. Nowhere for him to go. And another flurry of blows from both sides.
Yeah, it looks like it's not quite over yet, unless
Yeah.
looks like you are able to get out as that dragon is spawning in 30 seconds with
Break through the
multiple
Lincoln Tunnel.
on both teams. So I'll be curious to see what happens here as looks like Vipers might even look to contest this as they're positioning in the jungle, but they might just back off after that wolf camp.
Yeah, another Infernal Soul. And right now, Frostfire are looking to pick up their third dragon once that spawns in. And unless Morn can steal it, I don't think they're going to really be able to contest. ZMT is still a fair ways away from getting there. And he's kind of crucial to these team fights with his Shockwave. And Platypus and Koskinen are doing a great job kind of pushing Striking Vipers off. But here from Diesel and St. Ghoul, they are not afraid. They're not deterred. We're going to see a full-on fight break out. Kofler going in, coming in with that Galio ultimate. Nobody's really gets hit by it except for Diesel. Bard Cube comes through, not going to find any stuns. It's a little bit of a split fight. A two-man charm coming from that Seraphine. Nico going in once again with the ultimate Protobelt combo. Finds two. And right now they're just cleaning up the fight. Almost an ace for the side of Frostfire. ZMT and St. Ghoul make it out with their lives. But they don't get anything in return.
That AP Nico damage just absolutely insane, blowing up multiple members of the Vipers.
Yo, she went Horizon focused too.
Nico looking for another kill as he's just so strong in this game. The AP Nico, who would have known that was coming with this this meta? I haven't seen an AP Nico or a Nico in general in the bot lane in quite a while, and this guy's just really showing off how it's done in this game.
God, yeah, so big, so big. More shutdown gold to get, I guess, for Striking Vipers, but they really need to make as few mistakes as possible at this point. There's really no room for error with Frostfire having such a sizable lead. Baron's up. They can look to try and force a fight. Nico does have Flash again. Protobelt's up. They can look for another 5-man lockdown when they try to go for an engage. And yeah, Striking Vipers need to push up that vision line. Maybe try and send 2 for that Camille. Keep getting picks on her while she's splitting, and make some concessions in the top lane. But for now, it looks like they're just going to hang out in the top and middle lane and wait for Frostfire to make the first move.
Yeah, Viper's multiple members being really far behind. It's very hard for them to really look for anything, especially considering that Infernal Dragon crucially did go over to Frostfire as Diesel getting engaged on.
Yeah, Diesel versus Platypus once again. The Camille damage. Insane though, the Hextech ultimatum keeping him in his place. Diesel flashes away back to the tower. The healing is insane. He's already almost back up to full. Platypus having to flash away. Hits the attack on the Titan dash. And Diesel's just waiting for him. Here comes ZMT as well to steal away the kill. And while that's happening, Frostfire starting up the Baron.
Yeah, really well played there by Diesel. I mean, he just hit all his sweet spots, had a really good flash. Platypus sort of caught out as this Baron. They're not quite sure. They're starting to back off, and looks like the Striking Vipers are forcing them off.
Yeah, the Bard catching 2 out with his ultimate. Nico coming in with the flash ultimate once again. Nuked them. Galio also flying into the fight. More down. They've got to be careful here. I don't think they want to stick around. Hecarim's just going to run at them again, targeting Russian Ronin. The slow from ZMT helping him out a whole lot. But the Predator from Galio, the flash over the 2-man taunt. And Morn has to repel, but they're just waiting for him to come back in, trying to take out the Seraphine. He won't be able to. She stays alive with a sliver of health. And with that, I think they're just going to try and A-ram it down the middle lane, pick up the tower or 2.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just running it down now. It was really greedy by the Vipers trying to chase a Nico into a choke point like that, or not just a Nico, but that entire comp into a choke point like that is a little bit aggressive. Morn almost being able to pick up that Seraphine kill was almost would have been really nice to even out the score, but not quite able to do that as nothing much will come of it.
Yeah, I'm happy to see the combos from the side of Frostfire this game. Since we didn't really see the Camille Galio, but the Nico Galio this game is insane. Those fights are so difficult for Striking Vipers to win. They really just need to try and bait those out right away, but it's tough with Hecarim and Camille just able to run them down.
Yeah, absolutely. Also note the Camille did not have any anti-healing that fight versus the Aatrox, which definitely could have turned the tides as that Aatrox healed so much in that fight.
Yeah.
I mean that Gore Drinker, just that's his only item, but it does so much work, you know. As we notice, multiple members of Vipers only having one item, only the Gore Drinker on the Aatrox, only the Gale Force on the Kaisa, and even the Bard only having one item with the Imperial Mandate. But we see multiple members, even the Medjai is now coming through on the Nikos. We have another fight.
Oh, look at that Camille damage. For the 10th time this game, diving on bottom lane. And the Cocoon connects onto Hecarim, he ults over the wall, and he's just out of there. That, you cannot catch that horse. And now, Seraphine, Nico, excuse me, going in, gets another two-man root. Russian Ronin's gone. Warren gonna be taken out as well, finds himself 5 members of Frostfire. Platypus over the wall, gets a double kill. And now the Galio's running in, trying to get a taunt off. Diesel in trouble, and the Hecarim knocks him back into the rest of the team. The taunts can go wide, and with that, full throw gets his so many kills this game. It's just not fair. 7. Holy cow.
Yeah, really dirty there by the Nico. He even tricked the casters by pretending to be Seraphine walking up
Yeah,
to
that's not right.
the Kaisa.
I was just trying to scan the scoreboard for full throw, but everybody on that team is just huge. Like nobody.
Yeah, that Nico pretending to be Seraphine walking up. I mean, he took out, I think it was 80% of Russian Ronin's health bar with his ultimate alone. Like, that was just.
God.
That was very explosive damage with 16 stacks of Medjais now. I mean, Nico is just
16 stacks, Infernal Soul at this point. Yikes.
Yeah, they did just pick up that Infernal very crucially for the side of Frostfire. I mean, these fights are going to become nearly impossible with Striking Vipers being so far behind. They don't even have a single tower to their name, and they are now facing down a super fed team fighting comp with Infernal Soul.
Yeah. Yeah, if you thought those fights were explosive before, now the Infernal with everybody proccing it. They're going to be doing so much damage, especially if they get another Wombo combo. I mean, Nico at this point, Azog the Defiler, might just be able to get a pentakill with one ultimate.
I would not be surprised. Her damage is so disgusting right now. Galio was kind of trolling. I don't know if you saw that. He just put a rapid fire cannon and quickly sold it. I don't know what that was about. I just caught that in the bottom of my screen. But yeah, it looks like they're setting up for Baron, and they looks like Camille on that split. We'll see if they learn from their last game and let her split push again, or if they know to defend it with their TPs up.
Yeah, it's the exact same scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it actually is the exact same towers and everything, with mid lane and have open, 1 tower up bot lane, 2 towers.
I guess, minus the soul, pretty much the exact same.
Yeah, we're in a very similar situation to last game, although we have a little bit of a 2v1 as Ronin's here.
Versus Platypus, Russian Ronin is here to flash forward. Have that Infernal Soul. Galio coming to the rescue. A Hextech ultimate locking Diesel down, but the healing might be too much. And the Russian Ronin falls. Diesel staying alive for now, trying to take out this Galio. Camille is nearby, and now he's running the wrong way. The attack on Titan dash once again, locking down Diesel, and Galio gets the kill. You ask for trouble, make it double. Now up in the top lane, Nico going in, locks down ZMT. How did that hit? We need the replay on that one. Saintful trying to stay alive, but Hecarim running in right after more, trying to get a kill, trying to clean up the game. He won't be able to. That's a double kill. And with that's an ace, and Frostfire will look to take game 2. GGs are coming out. They have an open base. They're going to take those 2 Nexus towers and take the game 29-9 versus the Striking Vipers.
Yeah, everyone blowing their flashes, everyone going in, and just a really dominant performance, especially coming down from that Nico Galio combo and that Camille, and just the whole team of Frostfire just really showing up in this last game.
Yeah, that Nico wasn't. I want the replay on that last one. That hitbox.
Yeah, that was a little bit. That was a little bit sus.
I gotta run the numbers on that one, but I still can't get over that Wombo combo. Like right in the game, like I don't like after seeing that, I don't know what you can do really because
Yeah.
that's available to them pretty much all the time. And so trying to get a fight off is nearly impossible, which we saw. They tried to chase him down, chase Nico into a choke point. She just Hextech proto belted in once again, got another two-man ult off. And I think, yeah, Azog the Defiler was the MVP of that game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That Nico was putting down so much damage throughout every single team fight. I mean, many multi-man stuns, and really that's what their comp was exactly designed for, hitting those multi-man stuns, multi-man charms, multi-man fears, all these juicy wombo combos. As you look at the damage charts, I mean, that Nico really put out 26k, no one else even coming close, doubling the most damaging member on Striking Vipers at 14k, or almost
Yeah.
damaging, doubling.
I think
Uh,
game two was still a strong performance from Strike and Vipers. They had a good early start, but then kind of towards that middle game, I think, yeah, right around it just kind
yeah,
of slipped away.
yeah, Striking Vipers in this last game really just getting picked off repeatedly, looking for random 1v2s, just a lot of unnecessary deaths that just allowed for Frostfire to really snowball their lead and the Medjais on the Nico to get stacked and all these things that just put them further and further in a hole that they were not able to get out of.
Yeah, and with that though, Frostfire win 2-0. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm worth it. Punk, the man in our ear is Ebrom. We will be back later this week. Once again, thanks for watching.